To find the peace, we should be ready for it. We should not hate anybody in the world. A good peacemaker need not be afraid of anybody in the world, and nobody in the world should be afraid of him either. There is a sannyas dharma. The Hindu scriptures talk about sannyasis. Who is a sannyasi? The one who is not afraid of anybody and who is not going to frighten anybody. Nobody is afraid of him and he is not afraid of anybody. Fearless person. But here we call ourselves God-fearing people. I don't know whether you are afraid of God or God is afraid of you. God-fearing people. There's no need for God-fearing people. We want God-loving people. So let us act correctly without any fear. We can change the present situation if we have that confidence, hope, and the trust in a higher power. Even if you can't go out and do anything, tell anything, sit at your home, send out peaceful thoughts. Pray to the higher power. Everyone can do that. The biggest power in the world is thought power. If millions of people sit and think that there is no war, nothing is going to happen to us, we are all friends, we love everybody, send out that loving thoughts. Let it encircle the whole world. The modern science proves the efficacy of thought forces. Every one of us could do that. As you think, so you become. So let us build that hope in our mind. And let us send out fearless, loving, harmonious thoughts to encircle the world. More things are wrought by prayers than the world dreams of, is what a great thinker said once. Let us use that power. We are ready for peace. We are always ready for it. We always wanted it. But unfortunately, we wanted it quickly, in a shortcut, by doing this and that. We never touched the real source. That's why we are talking this evening that the source of the peace is within you. If you have touched the source, your own source, then you will be able to touch the other person's source also. Only then you can help the other person. So we are always ready for peace. Here and now. And this kind of thing continues always. There's always the problems and the peacemakers. This is not the only time the world is facing the situation. Look at the history and even the prehistorical ages. Always there were problems. And actually it's the problems that make us realize the importance of peaceful condition. That's what he called the adversities are blessings in disguise, or the necessity, the mother of invention. Now the necessity is the peace. We are trying to invent that. What created the necessity? Our problems. So we have to really thank the problems for making us feel the importance and the necessity of peace. That's the nature's way of educating us. Unless nature creates problems, we will all be still nomads, running around wild. We wouldn't be even clothing ourselves. We won't even build houses. When the nature pours rain on your head, you want a shelter. Then you think of a house. When you shiver in cold, then you think of something to cover yourself. So all these problems are again nature created in a way. And we are here to win over, find ways and means to rise above the problems and to find the peace. So instead of blaming others, let us find the peace within ourselves. And then try to help others as much as possible, just within your capacity. If we are going to put the blame on others, there's no end. You can always blame this country, this fellow, that fellow. So it's time to stop blaming somebody and accept, yes, it's a fact, the problems we faced. How can we rise above that? How can we avoid that situation in future? That will be a positive thinking than simply putting the blame on somebody and constantly hating that somebody. That will be negative. We will be building constant hatred in our hearts. If you are really disturbed enough, you will get it soon. So all these tobacco and liquor shops have not done their job enough. Yeah. When they have done their job enough, we will know how detrimental they are. See, many people smoke, even though the Surgeon General keeps on saying that's no good. Why? Because it's the Surgeon General who says, your own heart did not say so. But there will be a time when your heart itself will tell you. Maybe it's too late. But still, you have to learn this truth by your own experience. In fact, every day we see this in our news. Any time you open the news channels, all that you hear is about crime, 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 crime. Particularly liquor-oriented crime. Drunk drivers, because you drunk, you shot that man. Many judges also openly say that. On the influence of alcohol, you did this crime, you committed this crime. But they don't have any say about controlling the alcohols or controlling the gun. That seems to be our economy nowadays. What can we do? So, individually, we have to learn to face those things and rise above that. In a way, it's like you can be a fantastic celibate brahmachari if there are no beautiful girls around you. Huh? Everybody would be a celibate then. What is the greatness in that? If you are surrounded beautiful angels around you, and still you are a brahmachari, there is something to be appreciated, is it not so? The same way, if you are surrounded by liquor shop and if you are still a teetotaler, then you have conquered something. So maybe that is why even the government allows to have all these things and still want us to conquer ourselves and stay away from the problem. Otherwise, probably it's easy for the government to stop all that. In every case it's like that. Driving. Once I got caught in the driving, fast driving. And an officer stopped me. I said, "Sir, do you know you are exceeding your speed?" I told the officer, "Yes, officer, I know that. But can I ask you some questions?" "Yes, what is that?" "Do you know the name of this car?" He looked around. "Yes, it's a T-Bird." "What do you mean by T-Bird, sir?" "Thunderbird." "Yes, sir, remember, my car is named as Thunderbird." "And do you know the power of the engine?" It has 4-barrel carburetor. It can easily develop up to 200, 300 horsepower. And do you see the speedometer, sir, inside? It says I can go up to 120 miles. And still I haven't touched the last. And you know, I have been driving since the past 40 years. Experienced driver, powerful engine, Thunderbird, and a beautiful highway with the speedometer that can go up to 120 miles speed. And do you want me to creep? He looked at me. "Sir, who are you, by the way?" "I can't answer you these questions." "Oh, you can't?" "No, I can answer you," I said. "Aha, I like to hear your answer then." "Sir, if they haven't made the car like this, named it a Thunderbird, and paved the road like this, I wouldn't be going this fast." But you know why they make it? If they don't want me to drive more than 60 miles, they can easily put a seal on the carburetor. Even if I floor the pedal, it won't go beyond 60. Instead of V8, they can make 4-cylinder cars. It was in 1968. Now we are having compact cars. But still, I tell you why they are doing these things. To make me drive fast. To keep you in employment. If I don't do this, you will lose your job. So to keep you in employment, we are made to violate the law so that you can arrest me, fine me. He looked at me, sir, I have never had an argument like this. Honestly, I can't charge you. You better go. But please, don't think that every officer will listen to this argument. It's true. See, our law allows us to do these things. If they really didn't want us to go beyond 60, why should they make these powerful cars? Even today, Citroen Maserati, 12-cylinder, turbocharged, fuel injection. You pay 40,000, 50,000, but you still have to creep. Why should they sell such cars then? Because the car company, they can't control the car company. Don't make it. The car company will not contribute for their election. Aha. Ha. The gun control, the minute they put the gun control, they can't get even a cent for their election campaign from those companies. They are the biggest contributors. The arms sales people are the biggest contributors for elections. Now I am becoming a little vehement. America is the biggest arms seller in the whole world. The majority of our income is earned by selling bombs and arms and warplanes and things like that. So the people who make all those things have to sell it. Where can they sell? If they can't sell it to Iran and Iraq. So who creates the war? The people who manufacture these arms. Imagine there is a nice clinic, a holistic health clinic. Next door, a funeral, how do you call that? Parlor. Huh? And he has all the coffins stocked up there. For 10-15 days, he couldn't sell even one coffin. What would he be his prayer? God, please make my coffin sold. At least select some old people, take them away. That's what. A coffin maker would want people to die. I'm sorry to say that. Otherwise he will lose his business. The same way the bomb maker would want somebody to buy it and throw it on somebody. And that's how we get most of our money in this country. When we become rich, this is the way we become rich. That means our money is not a clean money, it is a dirty money. Money comes out of violence. We sell violent things and get money, and that money causes violence to us. Everything that we buy with that money brings violence. It affects our body, affects our mind. We are rich in dollar, we are rich in disease also. The maximum number of heart patients, maximum number of cancer patients, maximum number of mental problems. Where do you find in the whole world? In this country. Why is it so? Because our energy is not a clean energy. We only think in terms of how much money I can get. But we seldom think, how can I get? Or how am I getting? It's not how much you are getting. How are you getting that? Is it a clean money or a dirty money? If you get even $10 clean money, you'll find benefit, health and happiness with that money. Instead, $1 million dirty money. We have to think of all these things. And individuals should change. It is the individuals who elect politicians. A few years back, I saw a documentary. I think it is NBC or CBS. I don't remember it. I even have a record of it. The House Divided. It's captioned about our federal capital. Some of the congressmen openly, during their interview, expressed that what can we do? Even our conscience says that we should not be voting for certain bill. The people who are interested in such a bill, who have contributed for our election, call us and say, you have to vote for it. Because we are the people who contributed for your election. So in a way, they have bought us. We are obliged to those people, and we cannot say. If we say no, we can't come to the capital again. So as long as our politicians are made to be obliged to these contributors, they will have to face this problem. One of the yogic policies is not to receive gifts, purposely the business gifts, gifts with some words behind. Aparigraham is called. No politician is free from that obligation. So how can they exercise neutrality? So the politicians should be freed from this obligation. That means there should be a law that no politician, no candidate should collect money for his campaign. And nobody should contribute money to the campaign. Instead, let the government spend equal amount of money from the public tax money towards each and every candidate. Give them equal time in the television, the radio. And that's enough. That way they can be totally freed from the obligation. Nobody is exempted from this obligation now, including the president. There are so many revealing things, frightening. Few months back, Reader's Digest clearly brought out many cases. How to keep their constituency free from unemployment. They dump a lot of taxpayers' money for unwanted projects. I forgot the date of that Reader's Digest, about four months back or 3 months back. All these things could be avoided if the politicians are allowed to do their job freely, neutrally, without any obligation. That means the entire election law itself is to be changed. The problems are not just only one-sided. It's all mixed up. We have many, many, many problems. Just to amass money, our food is contaminated. I can keep on telling you what people do just for the sake of money. It's all nothing but selfish act. I want to amass money. Look at right here in California. What was that one time Proposition 5? Cigarette campaign. Is it 5? 5. What happened? Immediately the cigarette companies all pulled up their money and started campaigning that if we are going to close all these cigarette factories, there will be thousands and thousands of people unemployed. What an argument to keep the cigarettes continued. Is that the way to get employed? If that is so, tomorrow there will be a big union of thieves. If we stop stealing, the policemen will lose their job. Why not? Look at the argument. And so it failed. Surgeon General is a federal government person, is it not so? He's an authority. So it's almost like instead of Surgeon General saying, the government is saying that the cigarette is dangerous to health. If that is so, the government has every right to punish everybody who smokes because they are violating their law. Am I not right in saying this? No? Why? It is the government who says it's wrong to do that. And you are doing it. It's wrong to overspeed. You are fined. Why?
The government doesn't believe it. The government supports the tobacco company.
So then why should they say to wash whose eyes? They say, warning, it's dangerous. See here? Yeah, I come from Virginia. I know what is Virginia Slim means. Because that brings a lot of money to that state. They are fighting against any price increase, tax increase to a tobacco. So what is important? People's health or your money? It looks like money, money, money. That seems to be the important thing in life. Not even your health and happiness. The trend should change. So in a way, all the people who work in such factories should even quit. Even if they can go beg or steal, doesn't matter. But not to go and work in such companies who will produce things that are detrimental to the health of the people. Well, if you want to take the responsibility, take it. Then why the government then? And the government should not even say how fast you should drive. I have the liberty to drive. If I kill myself, I'll kill. Then why the government then? The government is sort of father image to guide the children. We are electing intelligent people to guide us, to tell us what to do and what not to do. Otherwise, we can rule ourselves. There's no need for any law. Well, anyway, let's make peace now. Well, thank you. I don't think we should continue any further. We'll probably conclude this with a small peace chant. Okay? Thank you. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. 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 Shanti.